What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Ramblin' Garage. Today we are changing storage units. We're going into more of a shop space, and I think we have too much stuff. So we're going to finish cleaning up here, and then we'll show you the new area. So the word shop space is obviously used lightly, but here it is. So we have one. Obviously have the Rambler in there already. And then if we look over here, we have, it's going to drive me nuts. The lines aren't matching up with the frame, but that's okay. Alright guys, so this is clearly a massive mess, but you guys have seen my 10 by 28, which is where the Rambler was before. This is a 20 by 20, so unfortunately not as deep, but it is deep enough to have the Rambler in here. I have maybe 4 to 6 inches in front of it, and there's some room to get back the shelving back there. I also have my motors and everything back there, so a shorter car could fit here. We do have a lot of cleaning up. Today what I want to do is get the fenders on the wall. I have the quarters behind them. Once I get the fenders on the wall over here, above the Rambler, we'll be able to put the quarters, I'm thinking, back on that wall, above the toolbox. But we'll have to see first. We do have some stuff hung up on the wall, some tires for the bikes, Trans Am original exhausts, and then we're going to try and move the totes and stuff over there. Once we get that stuff moved, there is a lot in here, but as we use the shelving space back there, that's pretty open so far, and some shelves above the engines, it's going to clean up pretty quick. So I'm going to get ready to pull the Rambler out here. It's got a nasty miss right now, something that we'll have to look into, but I'm going to pull that out. We'll hang stuff up on the wall, and then we'll continue from there. Instead of that, a nasty miss, you can hear the fuel injectors. A little noise to them. A little paint, looks nice. Last time, maybe I just had a suck fuel injector and I didn't realize it, because it's running really nice right now. We'll cut that off and we'll put the fenders up in the garage, or in the storage. Before we get too far, it gets super humid in here. This is unfortunately not something just leaking from the Rambler. It's humidity. Oh, smell to make sure. Yeah, it's just humidity, unfortunately. So we're probably going to get a full rubber mat to put under the car here, and then it was similar over there the other day when I was in here. So we'll put another mat under there. If you're thinking this looks overwhelming, I don't disagree with you, but we're going to make it look good. So let's get started. So we got the fenders in there. We kind of did some Tetris and got them to fit real nice. Same with over here. So we got a little extra wall space here, being that this isn't 28 feet deep like I was initially hoping. we're going to need to use as much wall space as possible. So I actually put some larger hooks over here for the rear quarter, and I was hoping that we could fit them both on here, but I don't think they're going to fit. So what I'm probably going to do is end up seeing if I can get something that's maybe an inch or two longer, and then we'll get them pushed up against the wall. I'll use some eye bolts and then just run a ratchet strap straight across. But for now, that one can sit there. Toolbox is in its spot. The idea here, I think, is going to be that we'll have a car here. The center is going to be pretty open. We'll eventually have the motorcycles down the center, but we should have 6 to 7 feet in the middle. So we should be able to, walk in, navigate ourselves right back if we want to work on something out here. Again, not a ton of space. It's going to be more of a storage space like the other one, but we will have more room to work on stuff if needed. So I still got a good bit of stuff over here. I think the last thing I'm going to do today, before I come back out, maybe tomorrow or a later day in the week, is get these totes. I want to move them over here. Again, get them kind of out of the way. And we'll see how high we can stack them before they start being an issue. So those will all be labeled, and I'll know, I'll be able to go through each one. I did inventory each box, so they'll be real easy to sort through. So we're going to do that. All right, guys, so I think it's gonna sum this day up for me. We did get the totes there. You can see they fit perfectly under that quarter. I do have another tote that I'll have to find a home for. I have another tote right there that's just full of miscellaneous parts, so I will probably dig through that and throw a lot of it out. That's one thing I've been trying to do as I go through this, is just get rid of stuff I don't need. And trust me, there's plenty I don't need out here. In the next video, what we'll probably do is we have shelving there. I want to put those either up here or above the engines here. I think probably above the engines, because as they go this way, some stuff will be hanging over a car that we put here, and I really don't want that. All that stuff is secure because they have hooks, but I don't want stuff that may be able to fall. I'd rather it fall on engines than a car. So that's next on the list. We're going to get some rubber matting out here. This is pretty common in these. It's super humid out right now in Wisconsin. I'm sweating like crazy. One other thing I want to do is, if you look here, this is a little hint as to what might be coming up. I probably won't be keeping those, but slight hint. But as we look over here, I do have all new tube lighting. I have 6 of these. They are 3 feet apiece, and they are fairly bright. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is run 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and then maybe one down the middle. We'll have to see how they came with wiring. We'll have to see how the wiring works out, because I only want to plug one in. I have a wireless switch that I'm going to put over here by my ramps. I can walk in, just hit the switch, and place the light up. So the only power we have in here is out of the lights there, which is normal outlet power. But the outlets in those are really bad, so we're going to replace those, and then we'll probably run an extension cord back there somewhere so we can have some sort of power. Not going to need a ton of power, but definitely have a lot more organizing to do. Some of the stuff we can put on the walls, like the radiator and stuff, we'll get hooks for that, get it on the wall, get it out of the way. We got the cranks that'll go back by the engines back there, along with our 3 different sets of heads. We have AMC 304 heads, 360 heads. That might be backwards. I think these are the 360 heads. Those are the 304s. 327 heads. Those things are like 600 pounds. Valve covers and stuff. We have room on the shelving back there that we can use. So we're going to utilize that as much as possible. And again, we still have wall space. We have space there. We're going to have 2 shelves. And some of the stuff we might be able to use. Let's see. Let's put the Rambler back in here and see what we have for space. And then we'll close this thing out. So car's back in, and as you see, those really clear the car very easily, almost to the point where, given how the slant of the car is, we might be able to put the fenders on this wall and tuck them out of the way completely. That might be something to look into, because then we open up all that wall space back there. But if we come in here and take a look, obviously we'll have to move this box, but we are fairly limited on space back here, but it is enough to get back here and get to the shelves, which is all I really need, because I'm not going to be doing that often. The next car that I'm looking at putting in here is going to go to about this stud. So, is it that stud? Maybe it's that stud. I think it's that stud. So we have We have a good bit of room with the engines here, a few inches. Again, we'll have to use the bump stop parking stops just to make sure that we don't hit anything, which I'm totally fine with. Again, it'd be ideal that we have a 28 and another 8 feet back here, but just not open right now. So if it does open up, we might be moving again, but I think we're going to be able to make this work. So yeah, plenty of wall space to use yet. We're definitely going to use that. Good trip to Menards, and we'll have everything we need. A bunch of stuff we can get rid of. That's an old starter. We'll probably keep that. Some of that stuff is getting harder and harder to find. Like we have this T10 flex plate flywheel. Stuff like that is getting harder to find. We have a bunch of I don't even know what this cross member is for. So that might be actually, I do know that's for the T10. We're not going to get rid of that. But that whole box right there can probably mostly be tossed. We got like some old Silverado speakers and stuff. We just don't need that stuff. A bunch of floor mats here. We'll keep those, but they'll tuck out of the way real nice. So that's kind of that. All right, guys. So that's kind of this is a new storage space. I didn't do as much as I was kind of hoping to do in this video, but I did want to show you guys the space. We'll be doing more videos on this, and I do have another storage unit in a city over, which has our next project in it, which I know I have not told you guys about. It's about 25 minutes away, and I just have not had a chance to go mess around with it yet, and there's a ton of stuff in there. That's a 10 by 20, I think, and it's got more stuff than I have in here. So that's going to be a project all in itself. So there is going to be that project car that'll be going somewhere else, and then I'm hoping to get another car in here in the fall if I can find one. As you guys know, I've been wanting a Corvette for a long time, so we'll either put that car in here or we'll bring the Trans Am out here and put the Rambler in my garage, or I don't know, we'll do something. We'll get cars where we need them. But we have a lot of work to do here yet. I will bring you guys along for the ride, especially with the lighting. It's going to really open up in here with lighting and some power. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll see you guys in the next video. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm looking forward to finishing out this project with you guys.